Difference that we're trying to do. Having fun with this weekend is the allegiance. Sure, swipes. All right, I'm ready for you to, or actually, no, you need to be introduced this. Yeah. And you're recording your live, you just get up. Click on, ready? Okay.
Hi guys, all right, we are gonna go ahead and get this started, but we want to, as you're eating your lunch, and you're next, I'm just getting these guys going.
Okay.
We appreciate Apex Underground. Hopefully, if you're newer here, you may not know, Rustlyn and her husband own that business. And, so Rustlyn, this is their daughter, Raylyn. But yeah, they're the sponsors. You can thank them for your lunch. They pay for that. So let's hear from you guys first. You
Well,
ladies.
as most of you all know us, we've been in Cass County with Apex Underground for almost 7 years now. So things that we do not do is septic inspections. I get that question a lot all day, every day, but we definitely have referrals for that. Sewer, septic installs, repairs, water line install repairs, electric lines, primary, secondary. What else do? We do drainage solutions. We do a lot of different excavations. If you guys get a chance, go check out we just launched another new website, and it's apexundergroundkc.com. So anyways, thank you guys for all of your business that you guys have been sending our way over the past few years. We greatly appreciate it. So thank you.
Thank you.
So again, thanks for lunch. Great, good choice, Missouri Mud. And what a valuable resource to have in our office is Apex Underground. I have never used you guys, but I've definitely called her 4 or 5 different times about questions on stuff. And we have somebody in our office that we can trust, that can answer some of those hard questions or lead us in the right direction. And that's fantastic. So, and I can't wait for the day I get to use you. I need a bad septic. I need a bad septic in my life. So, don't wish for that.
I'm the closest you got.
I do have a property on acreage right now. So, hey, everybody, it's my pleasure to introduce Jeff Fletcher, our North Commissioner here in Cass County. He's going to give us a little update on the county, and well, I'll just turn it over to you, sir.
All right. Well, thank you.
Yeah.
Thank you, Tom. Thank you all for having me. I just became the North Commissioner in January. I was the clerk before that. Before that, I was in city council with Ryan Finn. Me and him sat on city council together. I worked harder than he did, but anyway, yeah, look how far it took me. I'd rather be in your seat. So I'm married. I have a wife of since I'm going to say 07. I probably can't do the math quick enough, but anyways, she's on school board in city of Belton. So we were very active for a long time, but I know a lot of you people. I don't know a lot of faces here though. That's kind of cool. I always like seeing new faces and meeting new people. So again, thank you for having me. Tom pulled the short straw and got me. So so how it works in our county, obviously you guys probably know this, but Bob Houston is our presiding commissioner. He runs, when he runs for an election, he has to run the whole county. And then Moreland, he just has the south, which if you look at the south versus the north on us, it's on map, it looks stupid. I mean, I've got this whole slosh across the top of the northern side of the county, and he's got the whole south. But as far as people, it's even. It's supposed to be even. I don't know how even it is, but we go by census. I think most of you all know the census thing, done every 10 years. And so we can move those boundaries around to make it fair on the amount of people that are in each commissioner's area. It's been great working. Bob's been on for a long time. Mike Moreland's brand new, never been on a lot of boards, but never been with the county before. or any city council. He's MFA, stuff like that. Great guy. We're working. We don't always agree. Me and Bob, we're good friends, but we've had some pretty heated debates because we don't all agree, as you can imagine. I imagine you all get along perfectly and never disagree on anything. So anyway, we make the decisions for the county, obviously. This is who works for us. I'm going to say works for us, but I'm also going to say works with us. Every department then has people under them. These are the directors and superintendents. We have a great crew right now. We're probably full. I say that lightly because tomorrow we'll probably be 40 people short again, but you're always fighting that. Anyway, our codes and zoning, this is, I told Tom I was going to ask this question. Do you guys want codes in Cass County? Building codes? Because believe it or not, there's a group out there that doesn't want codes. They are on me hard about getting rid of codes. They are meeting, they have come up with a website. I mean, they're just crazy.
They can visit Houston, Texas for 2 years.
Well, just go down to Bates County. You don't even have to travel that far. I want to live in Bates County because we have codes. I love Cass County because we have codes. There's a lot of other reasons because Ryan lives here, Tom lives here, we'll go down that road. But no, seriously, no, so I may need you. Is there anybody in here that doesn't, I'm not trying to call anybody out, but is there anybody in here that doesn't want codes? Sometimes. Well, and that's one thing I'm going to promise you. First of all, we already are working on changing some of them to get rid of some of the craziness. But we're going to continue to work very hard. That's one of the promises I made because as a clerk, I had to sit in those meetings with those people. And I knew right then, I have put my foot down, but I want to make changes to make it better because I do know sometimes we ask some stupid things. One of the things we're talking about right now is septic. We are above septic rules. We are following above what state requires. I don't know really why. So we're asking our codes department to give us some information to maybe back that down just to state regulations. We're also looking at maybe making 3 acres with the septic. Just to, again, we're in talks. Nothing's been voted on yet, but to help those people from spending that drip system that they have to spend double the money on. Why? I don't care what septic you have. I could care less as long as the setbacks are off the roads, as long as you're doing it correctly and getting it inspected. I don't know that I really care as a county commissioner what kind of system you have, as long as it's working for you. So anyways, I promise you on everything, we're looking at mother-in-law quarters. In the county, you're not allowed to have mother-in-law quarters. So unless you have multiple acres, but we're going to look at some of that stuff. Do I care that you have a mother-in-law quarter? I don't know that the county should care as long as you build it correctly and everybody's happy. I think the biggest concern is it's going to turn into a rental. Okay, that's not my problem. I'm sorry I'm being that way, but so anyway, I'm 100% on codes. I want them, but we are looking at them every day. Health department, they do a lot of work around here. They provide a lot of stuff. They are giving shots at the schools for immunizations for the students and trying to do the back to school immunizations coming up soon, believe it or not. We're talking about ending school and we're already talking about going back. Not a whole lot with human resource wise, obviously. Maintenance at the courthouse. They take care of the courthouse. We have an MU extension we take care of, which is there on the square, the old post office in the square, Harrisonville. We have the Justice Center, and then we have also a new health department, and I'll show you that slide here in a little bit. But and then we also a little bit with, as you guys know, the collector and the assessor are out there at the Millwalk Mall, so we don't have a lot of maintenance there. But our Bobby Ray does a lot of great work for us, keeps the properties looking really nice, and I'm going to show you some stuff that we've been working on with them. And then Road and Bridge, obviously it's a continual battle. We have no money or not enough money to continually take care of all the road and bridge needs, and I'll talk a little bit more about that here in a second. obviously, these are all the elected officials. There's some judges on my next slide, but all of these run the whole county wide. You probably know most of them, obviously, from being around the county for a long time. So I don't necessarily need to talk about any of them. Obviously, these are the judges. Hopefully you never get to meet those people. One cool thing, I did go to an adoption thing with Stacy Lett. It was really cool. One of probably the coolest things I've ever done. She's the judge over the adoption courts, and watching somebody get adopted was really cool. But a lot of good judges too. They're very nice. So this is a 1/2 cent sales tax that's been voted on by the citizens of Cass County. And this is the money that we've brought in the last, 20, 30 years here. So kind of cool of all the sales tax. Just imagine all the sales tax. I mean, that's a lot of money, and it's never going to be enough. Yes.
Is that cumulative, each of those figures, or is it just each year?
Each year, each year. So, so this year, or the last year and year and a half, we've done a lot of improvements to the old courthouse. We're trying to make sure it's a place that's going to be here forever. Obviously, it's historical. We found out a lot by doing a lot of work on it. We've gotten yelled at because we didn't get the right permits, just like everybody. You figure out, oh man, didn't know that one. So they remodeled the courtroom itself, which is, if you've never been down there, you got to come through the courtroom. If I'm there, I love giving tours. I don't know anything about the history, but I make up stuff as I go along. But in that old courtroom, they spent $100,000 about 15 years ago, and we got a grant, which now we wish we didn't have it, because that grant was like, I said 100,000, but I think we spent 100,000, but we got like a $70,000 grant, but it put a DNR over us where we have to ask permission from the DNR to do any work in there, which right now what we would like to do, since our meeting space on the 3rd floor has been limited to space because more people are coming in and complaining. Did I say that? Oh, shoot. But anyway, so we're talking about moving down to the courtroom, which is kind of cool. But right now, if you were to go to the courtroom, you can't hear if you had a meeting in there. I don't know if anybody's had a meeting in there. It's horrible. The background, it's all wood. It's the concrete, it's a cool looking building, but it's just not made for meetings. So we were talking about adding some wall panels and, something very simple. Well, I mean, we got yelled at like, oh, God, you can't do that. I was like, sorry. So we've had to back up and regroup, and we're going to put in more of a sitting area for us to sit in and be in front of the people that come in to visit with us. But so we're trying to make some improvements on that. We'll see if that goes through. We just added the Christmas lights. We had Christmas lights, but they hadn't worked in 5 years, I think that I knew of. So we just had that done. That was, again, everything's more expensive. I think we spent $48,000 just to have Christmas lights on that courthouse. But it's a beautiful old courthouse, and the lights are just awesome in the wintertime. We do have them on through the day. Like when the Royals go back to the World Series or the Chiefs go to the playoff, we're going to have that red or blue or whatever color we need it to be. So anyway, they're really nice. They're really updated. They're LED, all that good stuff that we needed to do. So the flooring, this used to be tile. I'm 12 by 12 tile. It was slicker than snot, just crazy and ugly. I'll be honest with you. It was white and green and black tile down that hallway. And I had to pull to make sure it didn't have asbestos. It didn't have it. I was surprised, but it didn't have asbestos. And then we were able to refinish the floor underneath there. That all was underneath there. We refinished it and had it redone. So that was really a cool. Come down and look at it. It's really cool. Each landing you can see there. I mean, it's just really a beautiful first floor. Second floor is kind of a yellowish color, still wood floors, but it's yellowish. So I like this floor better because I picked the color. But we also replaced the windows. The windows in this building, when I was there, have been in there for 50 years. So it was time. I would stand at my desk in the clerk's office and my hair would blow. Right? Like yours? Yeah. No, my hair didn't blow, but you could feel the wind coming in from the outside. Maintenance would have to come in and put plastic on. The heating bill was just skyrocketed. I mean, it was just crazy. So this has been really cool. Another thing that we're just doing, trying to keep this building looking good, looking nice. And what was it? Forget the number of windows, but it was stupid amount of windows because each one of these rounded ones, half moons, they are each a window. So we had work done on those too. So I want to say it was 82 windows, but Bob has the number on how much it cost. I don't remember. Doing a lot of Justice Center improvements, the parking lot. So 20 years ago, 22 years ago now, they put this building in. Thank God you guys gave us the money for it. We've moved out here. Guess what? We're outgrowing it. But it's a great building. It's in great shape, but they didn't have any maintenance plan on this building. So Bob and the previous commission and myself included now, we want to take care of it, make sure it's got some money invested into the maintenance side of it. We were having people falling and hurting themselves in the parking lots, just terrible. So we've spent a lot of money on improving the driveway to this place. This is what we did, a partnership with the Harrisonville Chamber. I'll be honest with you, I can't stand the metal cutouts, but I'm one of very few, I guess. But anyway, this is talking about the I forget now, what was that called? The burnt district. This is part of that burnt district piece that they did. So John Foster is a historian down there, and he come up with all of this. And the only thing we asked is don't block the view for the sheriff's office for a criminal to come stand out here and hide behind. So we had to make sure it was very easy to get around and not be able to hide. So there's a fireplace right out here. I don't know if you guys know, that's that burnt district where they come in, burnt down all of the houses during the Civil War. This was a jail build out that just got done, and that was what they ARPA money. We are out of ARPA money. A lot of people ask, well, let's have some more ARPA money. Well, we're out. This one cost us 6.1. This allowed us to have better access to the criminals that we bring in for medical. And so what would happen is the prisoner would be put in jail. Well, if he got sick, especially during COVID, then they had to transfer that person all the way through the whole jail system, which then got everybody sick, almost, felt like. And then, so now you can separate, there's more separation within, and then able to get more vehicles in. We had old doors that wouldn't, allow the bigger vehicles today come in. We also put new units on top. Again, we're spending a lot of money on these old buildings, like 22 years old. They were gonna die on us someday. So we've invested all that ARPA money that we got into fixing these units up. And this was a nightmare because you couldn't work underneath the units when they were installing them or hauling them over. So, courts don't stop. Courts don't stop. They continue every day, and unless the judge decides to cancel, but usually he won't cancel unless it benefits him or her. So anyways, this was a cool operation. We got all the units replaced. We are working on the roof. Yes.
What's ARPA?
ARPA is that was the money from COVID that the federal government gave to everybody. Yeah. So it was a lot of money. I think we got $24 million for doing nothing but filling out some paperwork. And if you don't use it, you lose it. So we put it to what we thought was best uses, taking care of the maintenance of the buildings and stuff. So I hate the ARPA money, but at the same time, it's been great. It's allowed us to do a lot of, you could do road and bridge stuff that we wouldn't have been able to afford to do. Obviously these units are 22 years old. This building's 22 years old, and there was no maintenance done on any of this stuff. It was always just reactive, not proactive to it. So anyway, it's just cool to see some of that. Good question though. ARPA money we had to share some of it too. We had to give some of it to some of the outlying entities that are taxed based. So like we gave some to like the pantries and all those programs like that, a little here and there. So the sheriff has this new deal that you can buy bricks for the law enforcement memorial, for the fallen or fallen deputies. They just opened that up a month ago, maybe a month and a half ago, month ago. Anyway, it's just a new piece of stone here, but they're also, you can buy the bricks and support that. So I don't know what that money goes to. I don't know if it's the auxiliary. If you ever get a chance, go through the, sheriff's office provides a citizens academy. This is off the cuff because this is not part of the slide, but I went through that citizens academy and it's the coolest thing. You get to shoot a machine gun, you get to ride in a cop car. They take you through dispatch. They brought in their dogs. We met a lot of the officers. You get to meet them one-on-one. You get to go through the jail and see the jail. Sometimes not so pretty, but sometimes pretty cool. But we really have a top-notch jail up at ours. I've been out to Callaway to see their jail, and theirs is nice, don't get me wrong, but ours seems to be a lot better. It's amazing what these prisoners do. I don't want to gross you out because you just had lunch and stuff, but the stuff they stuff down the toilet, we'd need APAC all day long. And Tom could come clean them out for us. But no, it's crazy what these prisoners do to get out of their cell. We have a juvenile center on this campus too. So we provide services for the juveniles that are, I mean, sometimes they're just there to visit before they go next door, but that's the sad part. But anyway, sorry, I don't know much about that one. This is the Justice Center where it is right now. That's where that memorial thing out front. This is the sheriff's office. This is the judge's side. We just bought this land, both sides here, for expansion. We're going to have to expand, which I know some of you already know about the North Annex up here on 155th. That is an expansion, but it's not going to provide jails and dispatch center, nothing like that. So back to this, I mean, we're going to outgrow this. The plan was for 20 years, and it's made it 22, and Weber says he needs more space. But we also someday are planning on bringing over the collector and the assessor, is our hopes, to make a building here, get codes and zoning right here, get it one-stop shop where the only thing we can't do is get out of the courthouse. We can, but then we'd leave the courthouse and it would probably crumble. We've talked about giving it to the Historical Society and doing the maintenance on it, but it's a lot of money. I forget, you guys probably know some costs, but I think they said it was $60,000 a month we pay in electrical at that courthouse. It's just stupid. So we're kind of hoping that maybe we can use Road and Bridge up here, everybody in one place. So wherever the commissioner is, the clerk's office has to be within the same building. They can't be in separate buildings, which I don't know why, but that's a state law. I'm sure there was times that Bob wanted me in another building, but anyway, so that's kind of cool that we've got this property. We're gonna hopefully expand on it in time, but probably not in my lifetime. I don't think that'll happen, but at least we've made it set up for the county to do better in the future. That's our hopes. And obviously you guys know about the North Annex, I'm sure. We are in the stage of, I don't know where everybody is on the railroad up there, but we are trying to condemn the railroad piece, not the whole railroad, just the piece that comes across there by the old Domino's. So the Dollar General right there, we're going to try to come across there for the sheriff's office. So the railroad just didn't seem to want to work with us on that project part. They think they're going to go somewhere with the railroad. We just don't know that we see that vision. So anyway, we've sent in paperwork. We're going for condemnation. I'm not big on condemnation, but this isn't somebody's house. This isn't somebody's livelihood building wise. This is a hobby railroad. Not trying to be disrespectful to them. I know a lot of them work very hard, but anyways, we're probably we're talking to the architect right now. We're having a meeting Thursday with them to talk about what size building we want on the property. we've been in talks with Hope Haven. Tom, as you all know, Tom's very big on Hope Haven, and we've been in talks with them to be on the property with us. And then we've talked about having out on 155th, a hotel, gas station, whatever needs to be out there on 155th. But the sheriff's office back behind that. We're just wanting a presence up in that north area again. Yeah, go ahead.
We'll expand on this a little bit. So for those of you who don't know this area, this is North Scott and 155th Street, right?
Yes.
Yeah,
Yep.
and that's where the hotel was, right? Which was a blight on our community. Everything that you could imagine bad in this world happened in that hotel, right? So the county bought it, tore it down, and now they're doing that. And one of the things is, and correct me if I'm wrong here a little bit, is that when you look at crime statistics in Cass County, I think it's a number of 40% of it's coming from the county just north of us, right? And the sheriff, we don't have didn't have a presence up there really good. The Belton Police Department would be. But now with this annex, they will have a presence in the north part of the county to be able to control that crime that's coming from other places. That be kind of accurate?
Yeah, perfect.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm glad you told everybody. And
Yeah.
that's a good point.
Yeah.
So we're excited about it. It's going to be a little bit of a process here coming up, but we think probably within the next year and a half to 2 years, we might be done. Or at least well along the way, I guess I should say, but maybe a building up there for the sheriff's office. And this sheriff's office is not is not going to like hold 20 prisoners. It's going to have a holding cell. So if Jackson County does have to come down, they just have to come into this property, pick up the prisoner and take them up. That's by the time you drive them down to Harrisonville, drop them in and then you got to turn around and release them. It's saving some time. So it's amazing where all of our sheriff's deputies drive throughout this whole state. Well, probably even farther, but not drive maybe, but fly. Anyway, we're hoping that moves along. This is the health department. I used to be in this building in another building right there off the square on Main Street. It was horrible. It was horrible. We sold it. And then we are renting this building now. This used to be a bar down there in Harrisonville. I asked for them to keep the bar, but they wouldn't do it. It was on commercial. It's a nice building now. One of John Coffey, who owns this building and maintains it for us. He, rental maintains it. But anyway, it's a nice building. If you're ever down there, that's where you'd go get your shots if you need one, or back in the day for COVID, used to go get your nose swab there. But anyway, the health department's doing a lot of cool things, as I said earlier, but this building is helping them and allowing them to be more active because they have more space. We actually have labs in here. You know, we had to have a lot of things because you have to have the extra power, generator, the whole works. But so anyway, we're hoping to get this, like I said, we start all these buildings. As you guys know, insurance is terrible right now. I mean, it's killing us. And we only have like 4 companies that will even bid on government properties for our liability. I mean, there's just nothing out there, and it's stupid high. That's why we're kind of giving Weber a hard time about the annex, because it's been terrible, just the pricing. Now we're going to have another building. Anyway, so road and bridge, rehabbed 25 miles, as you can read. This is our single clip ships that we do. So, I mean, that's where your money's going. So right now we pay a property tax, 20 cents for every dollar, or every $100. The library gets, 24 cents, I think. So they get more money for the library than we do. I'm not mad. My wife would kill me if I was ever mad at the library. I'm not saying that. But it's just amazing the price difference of the library makes more money than the road and bridge. Again, I know they can use it just as much as we could, but.
What's this, joint venture on Prairie Lane between the city and the county? Do you know much about that?
Yes. So on Prairie Lane, it was a terrible road, and we came into half of the road, and Raymore has the other half. So we said, if we come in and we'll do the work, save money, because if you hire somebody out, then you don't know what you get. But anyway, we come in and did the cost share with them to we're doing the work and they're gonna give us some money to redo that road, so. Yeah,
Are
war,
they redoing in front of you right now, aren't they?
Yeah, I live on gravel right now.
yeah,
Yeah.
but that's just temporary. That's just temporary. It'll get done. So what we did is we bought a big machine that grinds up the road and it puts a hardener in there. Never been done in this county ever. We go down to the right depth, 8 inches, dig it up, we grind it back up and put chemical in there to make it harder. So that's been a lot of our struggles. You know, you can put a road in all day long. Oh, I'm going to be mean. I hope I don't insult anybody, but Mount Pleasant, I mean, they were just dropping asphalt on or chip and seal over the top of the roads, and now they're paying for it. Their roads are falling apart every day. Yeah, go ahead. Mm-hmm. Horrible.
We don't have any money, they give it to everybody else. So I don't know what that meant.
So they get about $450,000, but then they turn around, but no, this is terrible. Then they have to turn around and give it to Belton, because I live in, I don't know if you guys are familiar with Belton, but Price Chopper and Belton, I live right behind it. I am in Mount Pleasant Road District, even though I live in the city limits of Belton. I don't depend on, so that's the problem when you go to do they would love to raise their levy, but anytime you ask, if you're gonna ask me to raise the levy, why would I want you to raise the levy? I don't have to drive on them roads. So why would I want to give any money towards that levy? Yeah. Well, until voters vote on it, but you got to get those voters to vote on it. Well, again, why am I gonna cost me more money where I don't have to drive? I'm not saying I'm right. I'm just saying the point is, I live in a town that takes care of all my roads. And you're going to ask me to give you more money over there, even though I know I'm in Mount Pleasant, but I don't really drive those roads. I do drive them because I'm in that, I look at my area, but I don't work in that area, so I don't drive through that area. I don't know anything about it unless, I wouldn't know anything about it until I got on city council.
There's no, cause they patch it and it gets off, and then there's patches that are like filled up, and so that means, cause I can see the street that would be the closest is 213.
Right.
But so no hope for.
Is there hope? I'm not going to tell you there's no hope. The biggest problem is, so Mount Pleasant and we are working together to try to figure out a solution. Now, we're not working hard because it's hard. They make 17 cents and we're at 20. So if we take them, we still only get 17 cents. And then we figured it up, just quick math, to fix all those roads, $5 million. Well, we don't have $5 million. I mean, so now those county people that had paid their road tax are now going to be taking care of a Mount Pleasant road tax again. Why would they want to do that? Again, they're going to be mad at me. We said to them that we don't want you, but we're here to figure out a way. And there's going to be a hard way. I don't know what that way is yet. There's state law out there that prohibits them from doing certain things to give it back to us. And there's certain things that we have that will stop them from giving it to us. Now, that all being said, it may come to us. What's going to happen with those roads? You're going to go back to probably gravel. Not on all of them, but I agree with that. But to tell somebody they're going back to gravel is going to probably make them mad. But I do agree, gravel is easier to fix. Chip and seal is a process, and even on the patching side. So coming in with gravel and running your grader down there is 10 times better. Problem is, then it becomes a dust bowl. But we are working, that's another thing we're starting to do, is if we are taking a road back to gravel, we are going to put the dust control in it. We won't be able to do everything, but we're going to do about 300 miles of dust control. Yes, sir.
And on the dust control piece of it, if you guys experience what that looked like when it gets put down, it's really amazing. These guys went out on Gibbons Road, just on the other side of 291, when they were doing the roundabout on 291, there was a detour through there. So anybody that lived on Gibbons, there was smoke. So these guys came in and, what is it, soybean oil or something?
It's some kind of, yeah.
And I went down that road. I'm like, they sealed this road. It locked everything together and it kept dust from flying. And I talked to several homeowners over there and they were very appreciative of what.
Well, thank you for that. We don't hear that. And let me add on, we're gonna continue to do more chip and seal because we've learned that adding that chemical down the road, you don't have to use it as much. So we're hoping that that's gonna help us cost save down the road. Will it? I pray it does, because we don't have enough money. Yes.
I'm in the Braymore side,
Hmm?
Summit side, but I don't know that I understand what you mean by who's Mount Pleasant.
So Mount Pleasant is it's a road district. Believe it or not, some counties only have road districts. We're lucky we only have one, because those people that have the road districts in their whole county, Camden County has all road districts. And so a board, a 3-person board, and you get property tax, but if you don't have enough, you get one guy plows the road 20 hours a month is all they do in Camden County, from what I've been talking to their road and bridge people. But so if you live on road and bridge, or you live on a road down in Camden County that's gravel, your guy's only gonna do 20 hours to his region, which is the road district, which could be, well, in our case, Mount Pleasant is about 50. We've heard 50, I've heard 70. So, but again, we're lucky we don't have a road district, but just the one.
And Jeff,
Yes.
Mount Pleasant is geographically is like the northwest corner of Cass, includes Mullen Road,
Mm-hmm.
211,
Mm-hmm.
lots of Belton.
Goes
so
over into Loch Lloyd. They give that $200,000 that I told you that they have to give back. Some of it goes to Loch Lloyd. I kind of was hoping that Loch Lloyd would say, nah, keep it. We don't need it. But I didn't get that one. So yeah, no, it's just a drawing on the map. If you can go out on our county maps, if anybody of you want to know, on casscounty.com, you can go into Rogers the assessor's link, and then he has a GIS. You can pull up anybody's address for the most part, name, address, what property they own. Could be that it's in a trust, so you may not know that it's who it is, but for the most part, it's got a lot of information. And in the tabs on the right, you can look up, Mount Pleasant. You can put the Mount Pleasant Road. You can put your fire district. You can find out where water district, whatever it is. So, anyway, hope I answered your questions on that. I'll go through this a little bit faster because this is the same thing. Reclaiming and double chip. The reclaiming machine is what I was talking about earlier, where we add the chemical in that we've been doing about 6 years now. So that's really helped our roads better. They're not perfect still. You get a big tractor on it that's turning on it 20 times in a day. It's going to tear up your road. But again, you're looking at, these are the roads that are going to get done. Hopefully, some of them already have. But again, it's the Jefferson Park School Road. This is going to affect a lot of your School Road, the Hubach.
we're gonna probably do that.
We're going to do that. Just,
August.
of course. Yeah. So it's just a lot of money, and that's just a slurry seal. That's another kind of like a dust control on gravel. This is a topping for chip and seal to protect it. So it's not even really chip and sealing. Yeah.
Is there anything for like companies for heavily wearing and tearing on our roads, like the gravel trucks? And there was a big building that was allowed to be built on 215th Street, which they didn't ask permission from any of us neighbors if they could build it. And they are bringing in huge trucks every day, and they're gonna ruin 215th Street, which we just got fixed last summer, and it's beautiful. So how are we implementing something where those company owners have to, pay back for what they're ruining?
And we do try to work with them if we know who they are. Like they just built all those new houses out at Lake Winnebago. We did have to work with them on keeping them off of the main roads and getting them into the truck routes. If it's a truck route, there's not a whole lot we can do. If they're building, nothing we can really do. I mean, we're hoping that they will be a good partner. I think it was Spalding that helped us out at Lake Winnebago that came in and said he'd do some work on some of the roads, but we had to take some of that. That's what, roads are killer. I mean, a rainstorm will knock a great road out overnight. It's just amazing that how it just tears it up. But anyway, yeah, we are constantly working, scheduling, but you know, sometimes a business comes in that we have no control over. We can't tell them they can't build there because they're going to bring trucks in. I mean, just bad deal. Yeah.
I love the library too, but I don't understand how the library gets more money than the roads and.
Voters voted it in.
What are they?
Well, they just spent $5 million over in Pleasant Hill on that new building they built. They're getting ready to build a new building up in Harrisonville. They're spending it because they got it. Again, I can't talk bad about them. My wife might hear me.
Well, the fact that it comes down to people don't always know what they're voting for.
Through that.
So, and if the writing is a certain way, and hey, I gotta give the library more credit for, they got it passed, right? So
Yeah.
now, if you wished it would have been road bridges that would have got it.
Well, let's put it, police can ask for anything and usually get it. Fire, same thing. We all want that. I mean, that's a need. And same with your school districts. School districts have a lot of money that they are putting in their pockets. I know it's a need. My wife's on school board, so again, I got to be careful. But there's a lot of money that goes to those same entities that we could use on our roads. I mean, I'd love to tell you that we'd all be blacktopped, but I'd be shot by you guys next year because I wouldn't even be close to doing that. I mean, it would be awesome to have blacktop. You know, Greene County, I believe I was told that they have every road in their county as chip and sealed or blacktop, but they have a lot of money.
Why do they have a lot?
I honestly don't know that one. I'll have to ask that one. I mean, they're a pretty good sized county,
Yeah,
but I don't know what their reasoning is. So, yeah, population is really huge. But I think you all know about this. Chris ended up doing 9809. Not really a funny thing, but he lost 600 since everybody signed up. So would that number have messed you up? I thought we'd have more than 10,000 people sign up for senior citizens. I thought, so we have what, 124,000 people live here in county supposedly by the census. So I would have thought that number would have not even been, I thought 15, 20.
Do we know the demographics? Or what those 124, what percent is over 65? Probably haven't done that kind of study, have we?
No, I mean, if somebody didn't sign up, yeah, I'll get on that, Tom. Yeah, I'll have it to you by dinner time. I'm a politician and my lips are moving, remember? So anyway, I just thought that was a wild number. I really thought that would be a lot higher. I mean, who is not getting their senior discount?
I don't know about it. He's only a couple years old. I happened to have heard about it in passing at a chamber event. Somebody just mentioned it and I was like, what? So I came home and told Tom and he didn't know anything about it. So I think that and I've talked to Chris a lot about it. I think it's going to continue to grow, but people just flat out don't know about it. I had to tell my mom about it. She's 78. And then they think that it's a hard process and it's really not a hard process. It's just getting that word out. What is it, 2 years old?
Yeah, well, last year they finished up. I mean, yeah, you can still, yep, just,
Well, what's the deadline? July 31st.
so you can,
So you did it last year or either.
I don't- I'll check into that. I don't think there's a deadline anymore. That was the first round.
Oh, was it?
I think we're done. I could be wrong then.
It's like you get a form in the mail, you should have got one, you just mail it back in.
The reason you have to redo it, they're asking you on that form if you made improvements to the property, which you can always say no.
So yes, I am gonna, it has to be by your date. I forgot because that tax number has to be in so they can calculate for the next year. So my bad.
Is, like you said, you lost 600 people. If you don't send it back in, there are a lot of people who passed away. And so,
6%.
so.
Or sold their house. Mr. Positive.
You know, it didn't pass away. No, yes, it didn't pass away, that kind of thing. That's what it's about. But I bet that number's
a lot higher as the years go on.
I was just blown away. I thought, man, it's out there. Let's get this done. And 9809, anyway, I thought that was pretty wild.
Says there's 113,000 people in Cass County, 18%. So what's that, 20,000 people? There's 2 per house.
Right.
So
No,
it's
and
not
the
be-
math comes back
it's not
around,
be
but
too far off.
right.
Yeah.
I know you guys have been asking any other questions because that's kind of the end of my spiel. Hope I didn't bore you too bad.
No, we want to beat you up on the road some more.
Okay. Don't live in Mount Pleasant unless you're outside of the city limits, especially. Sure.
A lot of hope of getting those roads done, and they are pretty bad.
I want you guys to know as much information. I was told that Road and Bridge has a page dedicated to tell you what roads are being done on the fly, because we get a lot of people come up. I know it's not always the truth, but they come up, well, my realtor told me it was going to be chip and seal and it was going to be, striped, and well, no, it's still going to be gravel. You have 2 houses that live on a 3-mile road. So, yeah. So, I mean, we just had a guy that was on a chip and seal road. Did I already tell you this? He was on a chip and seal road, and he called in, he was mad because we were going to take it back to gravel. And he's like, but I want my chip and seal. And we're like, we don't have enough money. There's 7 houses on a 3-mile road. Can't do it. Just can't. How did it get done in the past? Somebody made a deal. I can't speak for that. Good politician, I guess. He made a, yeah.
Recommend on something like that.
Sure.
That's- kind of, Also keeping private to where we don't have traffic on it either, so they control the road. But that means we're responsible for all the maintenance, the snow removal. No one's coming out there to save us. Like, we're just doing it ourselves. But we get the privacy, we get the quality of road that we want. But also are raising our hand to finance that. It's not going to get cheap. It's over a mile long. There's only 8 of us out there. There's 15 of us that signed the agreement. So there will be a cost to that. Understand that. But again, you want what you want. That's the opportunity. We take to the county. If you live somewhere, get your people on the road, take it to them and see if they are going to allow you to turn that to a private road. And if it's possible, may not be possible to do it in every scenario, depending on where you are, and then see if you guys want to collectively come together and pay the road yourself.
So there's another way, and it's called NID, which is Neighborhood Improvement District, which Ryan knows about, I'm sure, because we dealt with that in the city of Belton too. But Chris Mullendorf would probably come in here and throat punch me, but because it's 10 times more work. But you can have your taxes pay for road work in your area. But again, you have to have all of the property owners sign off on it, but it can come out of your taxes. So you're not having to foot the bill. We would foot the bill. We would have it done professionally, be done, and you can do that. But we can't do it in Mount Pleasant, because I could see your mind thinking, well, I know you have one. Yeah.
But I didn't read that.
Yeah.
Question for you, actually. So if you guys all agreed to that as a neighborhood or as a street, what happens if somebody sells their house in your area? Do they have to automatically agree to it? Is it like a HOA, like they're locked into it?
Presented to them when they purchase, yeah.
Okay.
Whether they purchase a lot or purchase a house with a lot, they will sign that private road agreement.
Okay, so they can't opt out of it.
They have to.
Well, that's what I was wondering.
Fly into your house then.
That's what I was wondering.
Yeah, if you want to use the road, you're gonna sign that agreement.
But it has to be disclosed, right? 'Cause
Yeah, it's
just like an HOA.
Yeah, just like an HOA.
Yeah.
J Highway and Hugot Hill, right at that corner.
Okay.
They kind of blacktopped the sides and not the middle. Are they done with it?
So that's state. I'd hate to throw that. It's not mine, but it's not mine. Sorry, I can't answer what they did there. I could probably get you an answer, but it probably, yeah. Yeah. Sorry, I can't answer that one.
Yeah, I think, the state has plans to redo the road and probably looking at a roundabout in that area.
I would guess that.
About, if
They're-
that's up for about 80.
If you put in gates so that only the people in your area, that is cool.
Yes, so ultimately we'll have a gate, we're working on the county right now on the back gate.
Yeah.
We'll get that figured out here on 28. Stacy will help us with that. And then on the front, ultimately, what I would like to do is to put a front gate out there too, that would close in the evening time, and that would secure the.
To keep Ryan in.
Right. Keep it safe.
Yeah.
You in.
Cause you can let your kids ride bikes.
I tell you what, there's a lot of side-by-sides out there, and those kids go ripping down the street, which I don't care, do whatever you want out there. You're responsible for your own kids and your own actions, but it's safe out there, because we're all, there's only 15 of us, so we're all watching out for what's going on, and we know that there's not any other excess traffic going on there. So yeah, it's a nice thing. I'll let you know what the bill is. We'll have to-
You also have to work with the fire department because they have to have
Yes.
access. Yeah, Carrie? Oh, then I'm out.
No,
Yeah.
you're, so as real estate agents, what is the top thing that you can think of going on in the county that we need to know as real estate agents? I know that's a very big question, but
No code.
No codes, yeah. I mean, I gave you some advice on maybe looking up road, and I'll make sure that I'll get with Tom after this and make sure that that's something you guys can see is that road planning, so you're not telling your person you may not, at the end of the day, some people may not care, but I'm sure you guys do, but letting them know that their road is gonna be gravel is huge.
and that would be really helpful because we don't have to know everything. We're better off giving them a source, just like with everything else. How are the schools? Look them up.
Look them up.
What's the crime rate? Looked it up. So if we have that resource, we can just say,
75% of the people that call me complaining that their road is what it is usually says that their real estate agent told them that. I guarantee it.
and some of them do, but
I
they're
don't-
really good about telling us not to say.
Right, right. That's probably the biggest thing is just making sure you stay on top of that kind of stuff, just because countywide, I mean, in the city, you don't have to worry about it as much, obviously, but in the county, that's a big thing, but obviously we all know, that's why I'm just trying to think what else. I don't know if I can come up with anything. Just working together. I love that we're all working together and doing some neat things. Yeah, Ryan?
One thing that stuck out from the presentation, and I knew about already, but the land acquisition down in Harrisonville will take us as Cass County the next 100 years down the road, well past our lifetimes, of being able to expand the services that we provide to the county, because they were smart enough to buy the land around that courthouse down there. And so we have the ability to have the services, and I think ultimately get unified with all the buildings on that property, which would save the county millions of dollars as well. So that's gonna happen. It's gonna take time, but you have the first part of it, which we all love, which is we're doing.
Yeah, well, I appreciate that, Ryan, because it did mean a lot to me. When I heard that we had that property available and it was right there at the Justice Center, it was a easy decision. I mean, again, I'm never probably gonna see the results of it, but I'm glad it's piece that I can say was there for Cass Countyans. Yeah. Yeah. Yes, sir.
Well, and same as that would be the North Annex and the revitalization with the hotel and the sheriff and Hope Haven. And if I remember right, there's 4 or 5 other pad sites.
Yeah.
And it'll just
Boom.
change the entire entrance to the county and city of Elton.
I told Bob he was gonna get beat up so bad from all and he got one phone call over that whole deal. And then Weber said he was gonna go take care of the train, and I said, you're never gonna get it. He said, I'll get it. Well, I was right on that one. He struggled with that one. Yeah.
Big acreage that was donated and then the tree, something or other, is that something you know about?
That's
That's what?
that's the Bell property.
Jack, right?
Oh,
Jack Dryden property.
It is,
But it's
like,
it's
within the Dalton city limits.
Yeah.
That
particular property. He doesn't care.
Thanks a lot, Tom. So that's on the agenda for us for the 26th. Yeah. Well, I mean, nothing, so I haven't voted on it yet because I don't get to until the 26th. So they want to bring an airport, 94 homes. The 94 homes got approved. But obviously, if you take the airport away, you probably lose the 94 homes, I would imagine. But they're homes with hangars. I don't know if you guys have heard all that? No?
Yeah.
So kind of a cool deal. At first I was kind of against it. Do I want that in my backyard? That's probably been my biggest battle since I've been on commission is, do I want it in my backyard? No. But at the same time, we're a growing county. Get out of the way. I'm sorry. And I hate to say that because I love to be in the country just like the next person. But if you don't think it's coming, it's coming. Just on 100 and, what is that, 195th and Mullen, 195th and Prospect, right in that area, 205th, 205th, yeah.
You talking about that?
Hmm.
You talking about that airport?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Do you think it's coming? For sure.
I don't know. It's got to go through us, three people right now. If I've read through all of the legal documents. I'm probably a yes. I was a no, I'll be honest. And trust me, guys, this is not cool for me to be saying this right now because we haven't even voted on it. So I could change my mind. I guess that's what I'll say. But yeah, I'm very upfront. You know where you stand with me because I'll tell you the truth. But I'm probably leaning pretty hard towards it right now from everything I read.
If that airport community does not go in, is there a high probability that it's just gonna be tract homes and?
So that's the funny part. We've been researching on our end and we found out that Belton has plans for that to be industrial. So, I mean, you take an airport or you take an industrial building. Will it ever happen? I don't know, but we pretty much can see the writing on the wall. It's coming.
We live just south of the Southern Airport, right there on 291. So we're right in the flight path of the landings and takeoffs out of that airport. And you think I think a lot of it's been played up because it's changed and no one likes change, right? It's just, it's scary, right? You don't know what it is. Is it going to be better? It's probably going to be worse, right?
Not in my backyard.
I would tell you it's not bad. Yeah, you see planes out there and they're going to be landing and taking off. And of course, I'm not a mile away from that airport. I'm about 6 miles away from that airport. So I'm a little bit of a distance there. But overall, it's not a bad thing. It's a lot of commerce. If these people are bringing in planes, they are going to fly into their house. I can imagine the taxes collected on that might fix a few more miles of roads, guys.
I have a very good friend that lives just the other side of 7 from the airport in Harrisonville. You really can't tell much of a difference.
And again, that's commercial. These are individuals that aren't going to fly every day. I mean, yeah.
Aviation.
Yeah.
Now it's coming, it's the other way, have that or industrial.
Right. Well, what was kind of shocking to me is the timeline that they gave them for flying. At first I was shocked. I was like, there's no way, because it's like 5 o'clock in the morning until midnight. I was like, well, that's ludicrous. Why in the world would you set that timeline? But you think about it, if you're flying from a whole nother state and you're coming in, you may end up landing at 11:30 at night. So you need that. It's an SUP too. You have to remember, it's a SUP because it's a special use permit. So it's not, if they break the rules, the whole thing goes away and they have a runway with no permit. So they would have a lot of money invested into nothing. So they're going to follow the rules. I get it. If it was in my backyard, it'd suck. But
And airports bring a ton of regulation
Mhm.
outside of county and state.
Trust me, I've got all kinds of emails. I can tell you the unleaded gas that's going to contaminate the schools. I'm not trying to be funny now, but I shouldn't because it's a very serious thing to some people. But I mean, I've gotten so much literature and people calling me and telling me they don't want it. And again, I get it. It's in their backyard. So again, thank you guys. Any other questions? Thank you all. Appreciate you.
Thank you for coming today.
Hey,
Meet you.
nice to meet you.
Shelby shirt.
Nice to
So,
meet you.
Yep. Thank you.
Yeah. Well, I appreciate you having me. Sorry, reach on your chest. I know, trust me, I'm looking at everything, everybody's trying to figure out.
Yeah.